Eamon Khan here, 4 seconds out with Mono Jesus Ramos, the heavy hitting Jesus Ramos. Jesus, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad at all. Look, there's a question I always ask people that can hit hard and have a string of knockouts on their record, and it is the whole feeling that there's two thoughts of thinking that one, you're born with that power, or two, you work on that power. Where do you stand on that? Were you born with that power?
I think I was. I think I was born with power. I'm not a big guy. I don't have a lot of like my appearance is not like muscular. I don't have muscles. So yeah, I think I was born with it. I obviously work hard and I get stronger, but uh, I don't feel like yeah, I feel like I was just born with it. I don't feel like I have to work too much for it.
With that said, though, do you think because you have that power, that knockout ability, that your boxing skills are overlooked? They fly under the radar.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people see me as a brawler, and I feel like I'm a very creative boxer. I'm very intelligent. I've seen it in sparring, I've seen what I can do. Sometimes I surprise myself and my dad as well. Just different things that I do in there. Yeah, I feel like it is overlooked a little bit.
Now, someone who won't be overlooking you is Erickson Lubin, who you take on the 30th. What's your scout report on Lubin? We've seen him in high-profile fights. We've seen him succeed. We've seen him falter a little bit. What do you make of him as an opponent?
He's a strong fighter. He's a warrior. He has a lot of heart. He likes to come forward. I think it's a great fight for me. Like I said, he likes to come forward. He likes to leave it all in the ring. So it's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna make for a great night of action. And yeah, we're gonna be ready for the best version of Erickson Lubin.
When you say you're ready for the best version of Erickson Lubin, do you think, if we're having it straight, maybe this is a good time to get him as well? Sure, he's bounced back against against Arias, but he did have that absolute war against Fundora, which left him in a bit of a state. So in that sort of sense, maybe a great time to get him.
Yeah. And more than anything, because he's looking for a way back. He's a hungry fighter. He's looking for a way back into the mix at the top of 154. So he's hungry, like I said, which makes for an even bigger threat and more interesting fight for the fight fans. And it's a great card to have a fight like this.
In terms of the actual fight action, what do you think fans can expect to see from you? Just the same old Jesus Ramos?
Yeah, as long as I'm myself in that ring, September 30th, it's gonna be a great night for me. I have to be myself. I have to, go out there and showcase what I can do. I am gonna, add some new things that you guys are gonna see. But yeah, for the most part, it's gonna be the same as with Ramos. Throwing punches and looking for an entertaining fight.
I believe that in terms of you working on a few things, you were in the Crawford camp. What did you pick up learning from the Crawford camp?
I've learned a lot, man. And I think the biggest part learning from the Crawford camp was how to handle a camp. How to run a camp. They had a great routine. They had they had just a great schedule. More than anything, and we've kind of implemented that into our training camp. And that's the biggest thing I've taken from him. Especially like working 7 days out of the week. That's something that we had never done. We'd always it was Friday, there was the last day of boxing. Saturday was a run. Sunday was off. So we've changed a lot of things since joining him in camp and learning from him and just watching them work.
Before this fight with Lubin, you're in absolutely a great position, really, with all the governing ranking bodies. Do you feel you can push for a title, improve your position, and get that title shot anytime soon after the win that you plan to get?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's difficult right now with the belt being tied up with Charlo, but see what happens. He's fighting the same night as I am, so we're gonna see what decision he makes, how everything's handled. We know the WB always stripping him, and then Tim Tszyu is gonna fight for it. So we'll see what happens in his fight too, and then yeah, we'll go from there, man. It's good. I think it's an entertaining weight class right now. We're all fighting each other, and like I said, anything can happen right now.
Anything can happen indeed. And look, I know you got your mind focused on Lubin heading for the 30th, but the fans are stirring the pot, and I want to stir a pot a little bit on that potential fight with Tim Tszyu, which is a brilliant fighting prospect. Do you think the next gen can finally collide?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think that's a great fight. Like I said, he's got a tough fight against Mendoza. I got a tough fight against Lubin, so we got to get past our opponents. But I think in the future, yeah, definitely a big fight. Um, but it's gonna be an all-out war. If it ever happens, he likes to come forward. He likes to fight. I like to fight. So it's definitely gonna be a great fight. And like I said, I think this division is in great hands, and we got a lot of talent in the 154 weight class.
Get your thoughts on the final things, and I'll let you go. Obviously, on the undercard of a great main event, which features Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Jermell Charlo, what do you feel how that fight will go?
I think it's gonna be a great fight. I feel like Charlo is not the small man that they're making him out to be. I feel like he's right there with Canelo. He's big. I don't think that's gonna be a disadvantage for him, but I still feel like he is at a disadvantage in terms of this stage. Canelo has been here. He's done this. He has that experience, and I think that's going to be the biggest factor in this fight. He's that experience that Canelo brings to the table. I think he's gonna be able to edge it out. Based off that experience.
A lot of talk about two modern greats potentially getting it on the line if the fight could ever be made. Canelo versus Crawford. Who's your money on?
I think for that one, I wouldn't mind putting money on Crawford. It's tough because of the weight division. That's a big jump. I'll be interested to see how much it affects Crawford, but I've seen Crawford. I know how he trains. I know how he works. I've shared the ring with him. He's a very intelligent fighter, and he can. I think he can pull it off boxing him and moving around. His IQ is crazy, man. So I think based off that, he could pull it off. But it'd be interesting to see how the weight class affects him. But yeah, man, that's a that's a crazy fight, and it'd be legendary if he'd be able to pull it off. I think he's got nothing to lose and everything to gain if that fight were to be made.
Your fight with Lubin obviously promises to be a brilliant fight. I just want to leave the final word. I'm obviously over here in the UK. Do you have your eye on any of the UK super welterweights, or maybe even the UK middleweights at all? We had Chris Eubank Jr. have a good win last weekend.
Yeah, man, that was a good win for him. That was a great bounce back. I was interested to see how he was gonna do in that fight. Of course, man. If you guys are great boxing fans over there, man, I have a lot of fans over there. Shout out to them. I'm always receiving messages from them and support. But yeah, man, if there was to be a fight made over there, I'd be more than excited to go over there and fight. There's you guys have a lot of talent as well. So yeah, and hopefully in the future, man. And yeah, let's make it happen.
Jesus, you're very much a talented fighter in the offing. Looking forward to seeing you what promises to be a really good fight against Erickson Lubin. Thank you for speaking to Seconds Out. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, man. Appreciate your time.